He told them, "My soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." He went on a little further and fell to the ground. He prayed that if it were possible, the awful hour awaiting him might pass him by. "Abba, Father," he cried, "everything is possible for you. Please take this cup of suffering away from me. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine." Then he returned and found the disciples asleep. He said to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Couldn't you watch with me even 1 hour?" Then Jesus left them again and prayed the same prayer as before. When he returned to them again, he found them sleeping, for they couldn't keep their eyes open, and they didn't know what to say. Mark's descriptive account of Jesus makes Jesus seem really human, doesn't it? We can feel his humanity there. We're told that he was distressed, that he was deeply troubled, that he fell to the ground, that he cried out to God. He said his spirit is almost crushed to the point of death. I think a lot of us have felt that way too. It's not the picture that we remember from our Sunday school books, is it? This is not the picture of Jesus with a lamb on his shoulder. This is not the picture of Jesus with a child on his lap saying, "Suffer the little children to come unto me." This is not the picture of Jesus serenely kneeling by a rock with his hands closed and a halo around his head. This is a human Jesus crying out that if this suffering can be taken away from him, please God, do it. If there's another way for this world to be redeemed without me having to face this suffering, please allow it to happen. His anguish and his doubts and his feelings are all things that we can identify with, aren't they? Yeah. Remember that Mark has written this narrative for a community that is either enduring suffering or is just coming out of a very difficult suffering time. And one of the main purposes of his gospel and the story of the Passion of the Christ is told through his eyes, especially the cross, is meant to support those Christians who needed to know that Jesus also suffered, that Jesus also had doubts, and he understands what they're going through. But at the same time, Mark also offers us the model of Jesus being obedient in spite of his fears and doubts.